Our top story today, a live stream video shows that President Trump spoke to a massive crowd of an estimated 100,000 in Wildwood, New Jersey, the largest political rally in the state of New Jersey history. We've got this story to unpack and so much more here on the Gateway Pundits Week in Review. My name is Elijah Schaffer, and our top story today from thegatewaypundit.com. Jordan Conradson reports here directly. Look at this crowd. President Trump is set to deliver remarks, or did already, to a massive crowd of roughly 80,000 supporters. And that's not all. It turns out that so much more happened. I have this video directly of President Trump where he explains how many people were there. Listen.
There's so many people here. There's so many people here. Man, over 100,000 people. This is supposed to be, they thought they'd hit 40. So they more than doubled it, but you can't even see the end. I wish we didn't have the press here. I wish we moved them the hell back so they'd have, because they can't see in the back.
And boo, there is. Now that's remarkable. 100,000 plus individuals. Now, if you want to see a little more of what the crowd looked like, there's another view from Daniel Baldwin that shows exactly how big the crowd was. Check this out. Look at that. Just incredible.
Remember what America was like under Donald Trump?
Wow. This warms my heart. Some of the pictures I saw were from airplanes because it took actual aerial views to capture how big the crowd was. To me, it looked like even more people than that were at his inauguration. Perhaps, maybe just perhaps. Whether this is a good sign for the election or just a great turnout, I don't know. But I can say that it looks like Trump's support is increasing. Perhaps because Joe Biden's scam or sham trials aren't exactly working. Another story today, confirmed political hitman Jack Smith admits to violating the same law as J6 defendants who were sent to prison for years. Jim Hoff reports. Check this out. FBI agents spread documents from Mar-a-Lago on the floor during their raid on President Trump's home. In August 2022, President Trump reported that he believed the FBI stole his will during the Biden-endorsed raid on Mar-a-Lago. The FBI also stole 1,800 items that were not documents that belonged to President Trump. This was not lawful or necessary. It is also widely known at this point that Joe Biden, who ordered the FBI access to Trump's documents at Mar-a-Lago and President Trump's personal belongings. On page 2 to 3 of the ruling, Judge Cannon revealed that it was Joe Biden who ordered the FBI access to Mar-a-Lago documents and President Trump's personal belongings. You can see the whole article there at thegatewaypundit.com. This was despite Biden regime insisting that they had nothing to do with the raid. It goes on to explain here, in September of 2022, Joe Hoff at the Gateway Pundit reported that Chris Wray's FBI created a fake crime scene at Trump's home by adding their own documents to the scene and doctoring at least one photo. The FBI created the crime scene, as we go on to say. We know this happened. Now, as the Gateway Pundit previously reported, Biden's corrupt FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago was all set up. It even explains that this past weekend, Judge Cannon redacted documents previously concealed to the American public. The unredacted documents prove the raid on Mar-a-Lago was set up, as we had previously reported faithfully here, and why so many people have come against us. Now, Julie Kelly reported on X that an entire pallet full of boxes that was held by GSA was later dumped at Mar-a-Lago. These boxes contained the papers with classified markings. It was all set up. Well. Julie Kelly is one of the best journalists, by the way. We respect her deeply here. Now, going on to say, past what she said, so in other words, he said, the government potentially shipped boxes of classified information from government storage to Trump at Mar-a-Lago, then charged him for processing it, then rescinded his clearance after charging him, basically. So we're seeing this was all a setup. But now political hitman Jack Smith may have finally pushed the envelope too far. It appears that Jack Smith committed the same criminal act as Biden's special counsel as the criminal act Joe Biden's DOJ is using to put January 6 defendants in prison. New reporter Andrea Widberg at American Thinker has noticed something missed by the legacy media and mainstream leftists, that hitman Jack Smith violated the same law that the Biden regime is using to jail January 6 defendants. Special prosecutor Jack Smith has just admitted that he and other DOJ and FBI minions manipulated documentary evidence underlying the Mar-a-Lago case against Donald Trump. Everybody from Judge Eileen Cannon on down realizes that this is bad. Still, I wonder how many people have noticed that Smith has admitted to doing what the J6 defendants are accused and have been convicted of doing, violating 18 U.S.C.-1512, Section 2. The statutory charges against the J6 defendants are a specious abuse of the law, but they perfectly fit Smith's admitted conduct. So Smith had already abused what he's putting people in jail for. You can read more about it, but it's absolutely insane. Now, speaking of the devil, Maria Bartiromo actually went off on a spineless and silent GOP lawmaker, saying, "Let me be clear, viewers are sick and tired of hearings and letters. They want action while Trump sits in trial all day long." I have a brief clip of this that I can show you directly here, where she talks about this. Here's what she had to say.
But I haven't heard a peep out of this committee while Donald Trump sits in a courtroom in Manhattan all day long, while Joe Biden is over there campaigning, going to all the swing states. What do you want to say about the weaponization of government as Trump sits in that courtroom hearing from a porn star all day long?
Well, it's remarkable. And we actually just had a great hearing on free speech and Biden administration's censorship of Americans' free speech by using social media companies like Facebook and Google. But again, this is the two-tiered system of justice that has concerned me for a very long time, that you have a weaponized DOJ that is politically targeting and aiding these state prosecutors. And of course, they have their own cases. Meanwhile, President Biden is able to do whatever he wants to do. This doesn't happen in America. And I think that is we understand this, and I think most Americans see it for what it is, and polling reflects that. Most Americans believe that the prosecution of President Trump is more about politics than it is about some violation of the law. And with this New York case, Maria, they had to extend.
But the problem with this is while we know nothing happens, and that's why she goes off on him like, we're tired of seeing letters and people saying, oh, we recognize this. Do something, damn it. Seriously, do something. They're restricting the president from campaigning by locking him up and trying to ruin his career. And that's why they're even going further, saying this, that Trump may actually owe over $100 million in taxes after Joe Biden's IRS targets his Chicago tower. Christina Lila reports that according to ProPublica and the New York Times, President Trump could owe more than $100 million in taxes for writing off a massive financial loss on a Chicago tower twice, once in 2008 and again in 2010. The first write-off came on Trump's tax return for 2008, with sales lagging far behind projections. He claimed that his investments in the condo hotel tower met the tax code definition of worthless because his debt on the project meant that he would never see a profit. Now, that move resulted in Trump's reporting losses as high as $651 million for the year, ProPublica and the Times found. Of course, the IRS settled this inquiry years ago, but brought it back after Trump ran for the White House. So even now, after he posted bond and everything happened, they're still going after him for another $100 million. This is a witch hunt, to say the least. Now, that's to say, as the country falls apart, we need a leader. Our last story today, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas slams Washington, D.C. It is a hideous place as far as I'm concerned, Mike LaChance reports. Conservative Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas slammed life in Washington, D.C. while attending a recent judicial conference. He described D.C. as a hideous place and explained that this is a part of the reason that he and his wife like to go on RV trips. It's hardly surprising that Thomas feels this way when you consider that he has been put through over the years by Democrats and the Beltway media. Clarence Thomas Unleashed calls D.C. a hideous place. Now, I was just in D.C., so he's viewed. We can go through the whole article, but I was just in D.C. a couple days ago, and yeah, it's a hideous place. Of course, the consulatory district is beautiful. Or at least it was. And I was like, man, it was in a nice hotel. I thought it looked beautiful. I didn't know what was going on. And then all of a sudden, what did I notice? Someone was shot down the street. So it's not as great as you think. Anyway, these are the top 5 stories on the Gateway Pundits Weekend Review in around 10 minutes. I'm Elijah Schaffer. Don't forget to hit the like button, put a comment down below, and share these videos with your friends and family. Have a great rest of the week, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.